Daniel still family ties. It was nearly midnight when they took the final shot. Jean Louis had gone home to his loft by then, and Lizzie promised to come by when they finished. There was a cheer in the studio when the photographer shot the last roll and gave a war whoop of satisfaction with the last shot. The pictures they got were going to be great. It took Liz and two assistants another hour to wrap up all the jewels and mark the boxes. The three armed guards accompanied her back to her office, where she put everything in the safe. She got to Jean Louis's place at 2. He was listening to music and drinking a glass of wine as he waited for her, and he was standing naked in his living room with his long, lean, splendid body. When Liz helped herself to the key, the kept behind the fire extinguisher outside his door and walked in. He did it there because he was always losing it. Half the models in town knew where to find that key, but for now the key was only for her. She didn't mind how little time they spent together, but the one thing she cared about was that they were exclusive to each other and slept with no one else. And Jean Louis had agreed. He had no need for a long-term commitment. When he wanted a different woman, he left and found one, but neither of them had any desire to go elsewhere for now. However inadequate Annie thought he was for her, Lizzie was satisfied. Jean Louis fit perfectly into her high-flying, fast-moving, glamorous world, and he was just as comfortable with her. He smiled as she walked in and silently held out a glass of wine. And as she came to him and he stripped her thin layer of clothes off, he became rapidly aroused. He lowered her gently onto the couch and they made love there. They were both breathless and sated when they were through. "You drive me crazy," he said happily, his head thrown back, as she ran a graceful finger along his beard, down his neck, and then let her fingers drift slowly down. "Don't," he said, catching her hand and smiling at her. "If we make love again, I will die." "No, you won't," she whispered, and kissed him where it mattered most. They worked hard, played hard, and the sex was great. Better because they weren't together all the time. There was still excitement and mystery and hunger between them, which fueled the fires of their passion. There was still excitement and misery and hunger between them, which fueled the fires of their passion. He had never told her that he loved her, and she never wondered if he did. She wasn't ready for that with anyone, and never had been. She cared about him and liked him and enjoyed him. But at 28, she knew she had never been in love. Something always held her back, the fear of loss. This way she had nothing to lose. This way she had nothing to lose if he ever left her, except great sex. She would have missed him, but she never wanted to experience the wrenching agony of real loss again, and she did everything to avoid it. She called the kind of relationship she wanted intimacy without pain, but her therapist said that there was no such thing, not real intimacy or love. There is no love without risk, she had said, which was precisely why Liz had never loved any man. She was committed but never owned, and when it no longer felt right or got too close, she moved on. Her aloofness was a challenge to most men, and to Jean Louis. They wanted to possess her and to make her fall in love. She never did, or not yet. She wondered if one day she would, or if that part of her had died when her parents' plane went down when she was 12. The part of her that was willing to be vulnerable and take risks.